lectures. And before I get started, I just want to thank all of my supporters for supporting my channel. My YouTube channel will not be where it's at today, and I'm getting started early before the sun come up. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is if you need a part-time job, if you need a part-time job to supplement your full-time job, do this. And what I'm about to lecture about, I have used these tips and strategies all throughout my working history. Although I retired September the 6th of 2023, but throughout my working history, I have done many types of part-time jobs outside of my regular full job as a licensed therapist. And what I discovered along the way is, because I supplement my income with part-time jobs to pay off my mortgage 20 years early, to get my daughter through college, or just to save money, to invest money, many various different reasons. But specifically, I had to increase my income to get my daughter through college. She's in the military, going on 9 years, doing quite well. But when she entered college, I needed some serious money because I did not want her to be in debt for the rest of her life. I self-funded her through college, and the rest is history. But what I discovered is always get a side job or part-time job that is totally and completely different from your primary job. I'm a licensed therapist. So when I retired as a licensed therapist, so there was no way I was going to get a part-time clinical job and I was doing it full-time. Because in the clinical world, it's very challenging. You're dealing with people's lives. I'm governed by a code of ethics that protect my license. It's mental. It's challenging. And as a supervisor, it was even more of a challenge to be in that profession and to retire with my credentials intact. So there was no way I was going to get a part-time clinical job. No. That would have been a recipe for mental disaster. I stepped outside of my profession on part-time jobs. And I have had many part-time jobs, and that means I watered down my resume because my credentials did not define me. I have gotten many part-time jobs and made a lot of money on the side as an unarmed security, night watchman, working on the weekend, supplementing my income, making an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month extra on the side. And all of that money helped get my daughter through college. All of that money helped pay my mortgage off 20 years early. It was stress-free. Many of the type of positions I had on the weekend as an unarmed security would sometimes be just monitoring a building, a quiet building, making all the easy side money. Nobody ever bothered me. I'm able to develop and cultivate myself peace of mind, watch movies, read books, and I made that supplement money to get my daughter through college and pay my mortgage off 20 years early. Ain't no shame in my game. But make no mistake, when I applied for those type of jobs completely outside of my profession, completely outside of clinical, I didn't put on my application, I got a couple of master's degrees, I'm a licensed therapist. No, I took all that off and just presented my bachelor's degree. Because you don't even really need a bachelor's degree to be an unarmed security officer to monitor buildings. I took all my credentials off that application, for the exception of my bachelor's degree, and applied for that part-time or weekend job, making that easy, decent money to get my daughter through college. And the rest is history. And a lot of people don't have the humility to water down their application and take all, because at the end of the day, a green dollar is a green dollar. At the end of the day, that green dollar Don't care if you got that master's degree. Don't care if you got that license. Don't care if you got that PhD. They don't care they don't care if you got that bachelor's. All that employer care about is, can you perform the job to make this supplement income, or whatever your reason is, to do what you need to do financially. And that's the approach I took. Because I'm gonna tell you something, you know, I was determined not for my child to graduate. When she had got her bachelor's degree, she went to a private college, in which they put that degree in her hand. I told her I was going to look at all of your colleagues that got this degree the same time you getting yours. And I said, this is what I want you to do. Everybody who just got this degree the same day you did, I'm gonna tell you something. They're $180,000 in debt because that school was close to $50,000 a year to go there. So they're about $180,000 in debt today. But you know what? You, Anita Holiday, you owe nobody nothing. Your bill is zero, all because of your mama. And that's real talk, people. I was not gonna let my daughter start her life out with $180,000 in school loan debt. No, ma'am. I did what I had to do to supplement my income to pull that thing off. This is real talk, people. And I said, whose name should really be on that degree is your mama name. There you go. And she was forever grateful. But I still had to give her that real talk because it was real. And and she don't owe that school nothing. And it took that approach, because that side job I got, I ain't have nobody around me, wasn't nobody bothering me. I would show up and sometimes I would work extra hours throughout the week, making that easy money, a quiet building. I would watch my movies, I would bring my books, I would get up and do my exercise when I was making close to $3,000, sometimes close to extra $3,000 a month on top of my regular salary. And I kept my mouth shut. When I would go to work the next on Monday morning, on my real job in that clinical world, it ain't like I went to work and said, oh, I've been working all weekend on babysitting the building, making easy money. No, I kept my mouth shut. And that's a powerful tip when you're thinking about getting a part-time job. Make sure that part-time job is totally different from your primary job. It needs to be something that's going to be low key, zero stress. It's not going to be physically demanding on you, mentally demanding on you. All you need is supplement income, people. Because if you got a challenging full-time job and you go out there and get a challenging part-time job where it's mentally challenging, physically challenging, then you're dealing with your full-time job, that's a recipe for disaster. How do you think people can survive working 2 or 3 jobs? Because I'm going to tell you how they do it. Those other jobs they got is something simple, non-stressful. They can just go in and do it. I don't care if it's DoorDash or monitoring a building or something where they can just go in. They ain't got to worry about no stress. They can get in and get out, make their supplement money until they reach their goal, and that is how they do it. Now, I know people who got a full-time job, stressful, part-time job, stressful, and they burn out real quick. Because that stress, that mental stress, that physical stress, your body ain't gonna be able to hold up from stress from all ends. That second job has to be something low key to assist you in meeting your financial goal. And when my daughter graduated college, I held on for that little easy job for a little while longer, and then I quit it because it had served its purpose. And I tell anybody, that's the secret right there. And you got a lot of people, like I said, they got the mindset, oh, I ain't gonna do this kind of job. No, I'm not gonna do that job. I got this degree. No, I'm not. No. Well, okay, all right, let the bills keep on piling up. Let those bills keep on piling up. Because what's wrong with going outside of your profession to get that survival income? Keep on being picky. Keep on being picky. You're going to mess around and be homeless. You're going to lose that house. You're going to lose that car. You're going to get deep in debt because you're selective. Because at the end of the month, the bill collectors, your creditors, all they want is the green dollar. They don't care if you or made that green dollar on a specific type of job. All they want is, can you pay the bill? And if you cannot pay the bill, then you're going to get late notices. If you cannot pay the bill, pretty soon you're going to get that eviction notice. If you cannot pay the bill, pretty soon your home going to go into foreclosure. If you cannot pay that car note or that truck note, pretty soon the repo man coming out to repossess that car. And that's real talk, people. Now you ain't got no transportation to get to no kind of job. None whatsoever. This is real talk. I talk to a lot of people. I listen to a lot of people. I listen to a lot of people on these social media platforms talking about, oh, it's taking me 2, 3, 4 years to find a job, and I be listening to them. Then they say, yeah, I can't find a job in my profession. IT jobs are dried up. Okay, I'm just listening. And I won't be hearing nobody saying, I'm willing to go look for a job outside of my profession for survival income. I don't hear no talk because the pride in the way. The pride in the way. I got 2 master's degrees. I'm a licensed therapist. I still hold my credentials in multiple states. I have been outside of my profession to get side jobs throughout my career on many occasions to meet my financial goals. And I had no problem in removing all of my credentials off that application, and I presented what needed to be presented. I've had part-time jobs where all I needed was a high school diploma. So I took all my credentials off that application, every last one of them. And I got that little part-time job to meet my financial goal. This thing is real. Don't creditors, they don't care nothing about your degrees and your experience. All they want to know is, can you do the job? And it takes humility and emotional maturity to take that mess off your resume in order to get that job. Now, of course, within my profession, yeah, I got to present my master's degree, and I got to present my license. I've got 2 master's degrees. Yeah, I got to present my credentials because that's my profession. But there was no need for me to present those credentials when I did part-time jobs completely outside of my profession to meet my financial goals. And that's the mindset that many people don't have, and that's the reason why they're behind, still unemployed. And I'm keeping it real. This is real talk. This is real talk. And I don't know too many people who are willing to water down their application to present what they need to present to get that, whether it's a full-time job or a part-time job or a couple of jobs, so you can pay your bills, so you can take care of your children, so you can get your child through college. This is real talk, people. This is real talk. And so I just listen to folks. And I sometimes, when people talk to me and I'm listening to them, they say, yeah, I don't apply for 700 jobs in 5 months. Ain't nobody hire me. And I'm just listening. And I'm listening. I listen for a good 30 minutes. And then I'll come in and ask that thought-provoking question. Have you thought about applying for a job outside of your profession? Have you thought about removing all of those unnecessary credentials off of your application? Because the job description is clearly saying all you need is a high school diploma, all you need is a bachelor's degree. So have you thought about removing all of those extra credentials off your application so you can get a job, at least to survive until you can do better? It's better than being homeless. It's better than losing everything that you ever worked for in your entire life. It's better than that. Because, you know, there are just easy jobs out there now in today's society where you can get $18, $19, $20 an hour. Then you get paid time and a half when you do overtime. So if you can put in some hours, you can make enough survival income if you know how to manage your money. If you know how to manage your money, it's better than making zero. It's better than making nothing. It's better than losing everything. But no, I ain't gonna do that. I got a degree. I've gone to college. Okay, all right. Let me know how that works out for you. Let me know how all this works out for you in about 6 months. If you're behind, don't end up being homeless. Just let me know. In the meantime, I'm gonna move up and on with my life. And this is real talk, people. So a lot of people don't want to humble themselves to do what they need to do to make that survival income, to make that part-time, to get that part-time job or that full-time job, or to supplement your income. And if I had to do it again, I do it right now, even though I'm retired. If I needed some kind of supplement income, there's so many easy jobs in the state of Florida that I live in now, I retired in. Easy. $18, $19, $20 an hour. All you need is a high school diploma. I would not, if I needed it, I will remove every credential that I have off that application, and I would just present my high school diploma. Because, yeah, I got a high school diploma, too. I got that. If I needed to supplement my retirement income on just a little easy, simple, non-stressful job right now, if I needed to, I will remove every single credential that I have worked hard for, because my credentials don't define who I am. My upbringing and my faith in God define who I am. Not a piece of paper, not a piece of sheepskin. That don't define who I am. Only thing a credential does is give you the ability to have the power to choose, and that is it. That's all a degree does. You give you the opportunity, the power to choose more options. And those choices can also mean choosing to take those credentials off your application, to just get that supplemental job for whatever reason you may get it for. That's all a degree does. And I told somebody that long time ago, only thing that a degree does is give you the power to choose, and that's it. And a lot of times putting all those credentials on a job application, and the job may only require a high school diploma or associate's degree or a bachelor's degree, and you putting all your master degrees and your certifications and your licensures, then you don't need all, they ain't gonna hire you. They're not gonna hire you. They're gonna look at all that and say, what is this? All these credentials for over exceed. You overqualify because you don't put too much stuff on the application. That's what that really means. When an organization say you overqualify for the job, you better believe that person listed every single degree and credential and licensure and certification that far exceeds what the KSAs, the knowledge, skills, and ability on the job description. It far exceeds that, and that's why they don't get the job, and they behind end up being unemployed for 2 and 3 years, because they keep putting all of that stuff on there on these job applications, and the requirements is not that high. So put down the credentials or the requirements for the job applicable to the job description, so you can get that job and take care of your family and move forward. This is real talk, and I've been using that strategy throughout my entire working history, all the way up until I retire, in the event I needed to get a part-time. I've always done that. I've always done it. And it has worked for me. By evidence, I was able to use that side money to pay my mortgage off 20 years early, to get my daughter through college. I invested a lot of that money. I did a lot of extra investing. It worked for me. And it allowed me to exit up out of this workforce forever. September the 6th, 2023, and the rest is history. It worked for me. So this is powerful information. Share this information. Somebody might need to hear it. Somebody might be unemployed right now and been taking the wrong approach on applying for a job. They might need to hear this. You need to share this lecture. Share this lecture. Somebody in your family might need to hear this, who's unemployed and been looking for a job. Share this lecture, because this here is real talk. And don't forget to mark your calendar, September the 29th. September the 29th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to present a lecture on the winning format that I use. The winning format that I use for my manuscript to get accepted by two world-renowned publishing companies. My book hit all major bookstores going on 3 years now. And oh, by the way, a caveat to that, let me tell you something. When I wrote my manuscript, that little part-time job I told y'all about, back then I had that little easy part-time job in an empty building. I wrote my manuscript on that part-time job. It was quiet. The building was empty. All I had to do was get up and check doors once an hour. I literally wrote my manuscript on my weekend job, and my manuscript got accepted by two world-renowned publishing company. So I just wasn't just showing up to that empty, quiet building, making that good money on the weekend, doing nothing. No, I was writing my manuscript. I was watching movies. I was reading motivational books. I was getting up and walking around there to get my exercise. I brought my healthy food. So I accomplished many things on that part-time job on the weekend, and all I needed was a high school diploma. I had the high school diploma. That's all I presented. For that particular, no, I presented my high school diploma and my bachelor's degree. That's all I presented. And it's that position served this purpose. There was nobody bothering me. It was quiet. And I almost felt bad making literally free money. But I took advantage of that opportunity and met my other needs by writing my winning manuscript. It took me a year and a half, and I used a pencil, and I had a whole lot of paper, and I wrote my manuscript on that job. Literally, I don't know no job in the world where you're gonna have time to write a manuscript. But I wrote, because I had the time. That's all I had was time, and I wrote my manuscript. So if you want to find out what winning format I use, you need to tune in September the 29th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be ready to get down to business. That's all I have. Simple Fidelity, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.